How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about PROG stock. It is continuing to consolidate. I know we did have a red day. We do have earnings that is coming up. So again, things can get very interesting going into tomorrow. And I want to make sure you guys are fully prepared. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. Know those key levels so we're prepared in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. We know for the short interest already, it can have an impact on the way the stock performs, and this is why we cover it. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for PROG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.41, being down 3.67%. On the low, it tested $3.28, and then on the high, testing $3.54. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 19.079 million shares, and then for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 52.72 million shares. So one thing that you could see right away, we did end up having below average volume, and whenever we get that, we know PROG is going to deal with some pressure. Now, when we take a look at the 1-year daily chart, you could see from the RSI down below, it is right around 59.87. And then when we take a look at the moving averages on the chart, you can see we have strength above the 50-day, the 100-day, the 21-day EMA, and as well as the 200-day. So what are we seeing? A continuation of consolidation. As far as for where we tested on the low, it was right around $3.28. So we've been able to establish some support there. And now as far as for the high, it's at $3.54. So in a bullish case scenario, you're going to want to look for PROG to make a move getting to right here around the 370 range. And for the bearish case scenario, just in case it decides to do a pullback, then I'm going to be looking for some strength right here around $3.17. They do have earnings that is coming out tomorrow, and I feel like if they can put out a beat, then this stock could really see some strong moves to the upside. But if it doesn't end up being a beat, then of course we could see a pullback, and that's where I'd want to see if it would bounce off the 200-day around 309 or whether it would fall through. But of course, I'll make sure to give you guys an update, but I'm very excited to see how PROG stock does for tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for PROG. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So what we could see here for the date of November the 9th, Pro Equities Inc., they have been real busy. So we have a call and as well as a put. Of course, they are hedging. We also have for the second Victory Capital Management Inc., which I think we covered already, that purchased 14,150 shares. And now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 52.30%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 8.4 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 25,000, updated 1 minute ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 63.85%. Now when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 8th, it was at 52.30, and then for the close of the 9th, which is today, it is at 53.02. So what this tells us right away, it has gone up and PROG still continues to have short squeeze potential, and is part of the reasons why you want to keep this play on your watch list, especially since they do have earnings tomorrow at the close. I feel there's going to be some anticipation and we might see some increased volume as well. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution
distribution.
Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for PROG. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 12,187, and then on the outflow is 12,561. Taking a look at the breakdown, it was 292 on the large, 8,330 on the medium, and then on the small, it was 3,566. When we take a look at the outflow side, we had 0 on the large. On the medium, we had 8,382, and then on the small, we have 4,179. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for November the 9th, which is today, it was at 291.15. So institutions potentially loading up here. And then when we take a look at the breakdown even further, you can see we saw a lot more selling on the retail side when taking a look at the small scale orders. And also when we take a look at the medium scale orders, it actually looks fairly even. And then when we take a look at the large, that's where we see, hey, there was a good amount of inflows coming in. And then now when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it is at 13.36%. So for a stock like PROG, this is not too bad whatsoever. We know there's a lot of traders that like to go in and out of this play. And we also do know that many are holding their shares in anticipation for earnings that is coming up. I myself personally, I am not holding a position into earnings because I feel that is gambling. But of course, this can end up being a big time opportunity if they end up crushing earnings and this stock can take off. So again, if you are in this play, just keep that in mind and know what the risks are. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for PROG stock, I'm really excited to see how earnings is going to be turning out. Many people have high expectations, and there's also a few people inside of the Discord who are holding shares looking out for that strong pop. And one thing also to be clear about, we did have a lot of volatility inside of the market today. There was a lot of selling pressure, and what we saw with PROG, I just saw it as continuation of consolidation. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, PROG still continues to have short squeeze potential, and this is the reason why. If we have a lot of buying volume coming into the stock, aka strong earnings, then we could see this thing pop, and that's why I want to make sure you're keeping it on your radar. Also, make sure you're doing your homework and as well as your due diligence. They also did have some news that came out today of them appointing a new CEO. So that must be exciting as far as for the operational side, and also if you have an investment in PROG and you believe in the long-term prospects. But do know it's going to be coming with a lot of volatility. If the earnings do not turn out to be well, then of course you could see this stock pull back. And as far as how much it's going to be pulling back to, I can't give you a clear answer on that because again, it all depends on what those numbers look like for earnings. But another thing that we cannot forget about though, PROG has seen a lot of momentum and a lot of demand before earnings actually came into the picture. So this is why I'm saying it's going to be very interesting to see how tomorrow turns out, and as well as for the rest of the week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.